north across the UK.
This is BBC News. I'm Jane Hill. The headlines at 5. The Chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng, has announced the government's mini-budget. There are cuts to income tax and stamp duty, and the cap on bankers' bonuses has been lifted.
We promised to prioritise growth, Mr. Speaker. We promised a new approach for a new era. We promised to release the enormous potential of this country. Our growth plan has delivered all those promises and more, Mr. Speaker.
Labour says the changes are a comprehensive demolition of the government's last 12 years in power.
The oil and gas producers will be toasting the Chancellor in the boardrooms as we speak, while working people are left to pick up the bill.
I'm Joanna Gosling, live in Westminster with political reaction to the measures from the Chancellor today, and we'll also be looking at what it means for you.
And in the rest of the day's news, the novelist Dame Hilary Mantel, best known for her Wolf Hall trilogy, has died at the age of 70.
I mean, it's like that is the holy grail of being the writer that we all aspire to. She was the J.K. Rowling of historical fiction.
4 Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine are staging referendums on whether to become part of Russia. The West says it's a move by Moscow to annex more Ukrainian territory. Hello and a very good afternoon. In a massive shake-up of the UK's finances, the Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng has outlined a series of tax cuts and spending commitments that will cost £45 billion by 2027. The Independent Institute for Fiscal Studies has described the announcements as the biggest tax-cutting budget in 50 years. The government says its policies will help boost economic growth. Yesterday, the Bank of England warned the UK may already be in recession. But critics say that funding the tax cuts will lead to unsustainable borrowing. Well, the Chancellor announced changes to income tax in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. The basic rate will be cut from 20% to 19% in April, a year earlier than planned. The top rate, which is currently 45% and is paid by anyone who earns more than £150,000 a year, is being abolished. This doesn't apply in Scotland. There are immediate changes to stamp duty paid when buying a property in England or Northern Ireland. The threshold is being raised, meaning no tax will be paid on the first £250,000. And that figure will in fact be £425,000 for the first-time buyers. The planned increase in corporation tax, the amount that companies pay on their profits, is being scrapped, so it will remain at 19%. And the cap on bankers' bonuses, which had limited them to twice someone's annual salary, is also being axed. Labour says the government plan is based on outdated trickle-down economics. Our first report is from our political editor, Chris Mason.
So we afford these tax cuts, Chancellor?
Technically,